little bit of NIL stuff here, because this kind of goes part and parcel with the college transfer portal. You know, you can slide in, hop in that transfer portal. They'll have an NIL deal waiting for you on the other side. And I was beginning to think about this, you know, and you see some things and people ask questions on social media and on Twitter. And hey, the problem everyone says with the NIL is right now it's the Wild West because you have different rules in Georgia, Texas, Florida, California, Ohio, Michigan, everybody else, every state, you know, basically legislature put through their own rules and their own spin on things. And, you know, even in the state of Georgia where they can hold a certain percentage back and distribute it to all the athletes. And I mean, these are laws that happen. In some states, you can't do this, other states, you can do that. And so, you know, there becomes this asymmetry here in recruiting and asymmetry as far as, you know, what you're going to be able to provide players. And is that going to create a imbalance? You know, if you see what's going on right now in Texas and all the stuff down there, like, you know, does everyone want to see the best athletes flocking or staying there because then maybe they have better laws? And this is without diving in and digging into all the details, because the devil's always there when it comes to these laws that have been passed that the universities ultimately have to follow. But then the question was raised to me, who's going to enforce these laws on the state level? Typically it'd be the attorney general. I think if you have some sort of state law, that you have an institution who maybe isn't fully abiding by or following to the letter of the law as it was described and it was, you know, legislated. So there would be the ones who would bring these charges and try to get this thing figured out. The question was, what attorney general in any state that cared remotely about athletics is going, because a lot of these guys in state, they're publicly elected officials, who is going to have the stones to go there and file a lawsuit against Georgia or Texas A&M or Florida State or Bama or Auburn or Ohio State or whoever it might be, because you know what? Your school isn't fully abiding by the rules of which we laid out with our state legislature. You're doing things that are trying to win, and we want to try to hold you back. Because in some of these states, the ones that I just mentioned, college football is really, really important. And it's the one thing, like athletics, they're getting to be a little bit divisive, but it's still always been the one thing that has united us. And whether or not you're, you know, a Democrat or Republican, liberal, conservative, red state, blue state, when you walk into that stadium, the only colors that matter are the colors of your team. And so if the attorney general says, hey, you're not doing this right, you're breaking the rules to your advantage to try to procure talent, what AG is going to step up and say, you know what, we should probably look into this and we should be the ones that are the whistleblowers? Heck no, that's not going to happen. Not in most states anyway. And if they do, they might be writing their death sentence if you're the attorney general in that state. Because I don't care if you're the attorney general in the state of Alabama and you lean on something that Auburn is doing, and maybe Alabama, you know, they're not doing it, they're not getting away with it or whatever it is, you're still dividing the state. And really nobody wants to see that done because they're going to be afraid they're going to go to your school next. So I don't know, even if they break some of these laws that have been put into place, because they're just not rules now. These are laws for the individual state. Who is going to be there to enforce them? Because for my money, the attorney general or the governors or whoever has the ability to push this forward legally would never even dream of touching it. Just doesn't make sense. It's not good politics and it's not good business with that.